Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Has anyone ever seen violence happen? Has anyone ever seen a fight? Has anyone ever seen situations happening? What are they like? What are they like?
Messy.
They're messy, aren't they? They're messy. There's very little like you see in the movies. They're actually almost disappointing, aren't they? They're actually disappointing. Like you just see, you think these guys are going to go at it, and then next minute just punches just flying, people slipping. But one of the biggest things that most people don't understand is that fights or assaults happen way before you know about it. Particularly if you're not looking to be involved in an assault. If you're two guys and you both go out to meet in the backyard or back lane somewhere to have a fight, that's a very different story. You're setting up something. That's not self-defense, and I'm afraid that's something that's outside of what we focus on, right? What we're talking about is a normal person going about their life, going to their car, going out, like just coming home, being at work, and somebody sets out to harm them. Now, for many people, when these horrible attacks come, be a woman being sexually assaulted, or a guy being, involved in a road rage incident, or bumping into the wrong person, it seems to them that the situation came out of nowhere. It's one of the most common things that people say. It just came out of nowhere. It just was total shock to me. Here's the thing: if you're not looking for trouble, if you're going about your life, assault is always going to be a surprise. Because if it wasn't a surprise, you'd have seen it and you'd have got the hell out of there. Okay, so you have to understand that even though for you it seems like it comes out of nowhere and it was a shock, for the person who's doing it, for the person who's attacking you, for the mugger or for the predator who's attacking a woman, it doesn't begin there. It began way back. It may have began that morning. They got up in this morning and said, today I'm going to hurt somebody. Or they could be somebody who just has a propensity to harm. That if the opportunity presents themselves, they're on it. If they see a woman walking alone, that is their signal. They're not necessarily looking, they haven't got up with necessarily that intent that moment, but if that opportunity presents itself, they go for it. They attack the person. It could be that there's a guy who just has his way of solving problems is violence. It's the way he grew up. You're walking through the street and you bump into a guy. Chenzi here is walking out and I bump into a guy. Some guys, that might be just the frame that they see, and that's just an accident. Sorry about that. We just might go and go, oh, pal, listen, pal, sorry about that. Best luck, man. Yeah, see you later. And, nothing happened. But another guy, maybe a guy who grew up in a rougher world or in a world where violence was the way things were going on. If Chenzi's the tough guy here, okay, and I'm walking down the street and I bump into Chenzi, go, sorry, and he's just going, hey. And then to him, this is an indicator of violence. And so has anyone ever seen that, where just something that was just normal to you, you just accidentally bumped into somebody or actually caught someone's eye or stumbled somehow. To you it's just an accident, and but to them it was a predicate to violence. Okay, so that is something, people see the world in different ways, and the shock often is because you don't see the world the same way as your attacker saw it, which to you, when their attack comes, to them it's normal. To them, that's the way they do things. To you, this is like an alien. Okay, and that means oftentimes the fight is over before you ever get into it, because you don't have that frame. So, how do we deal with this? It's a complicated scenario. So one of the things that is very, very common about assaults is that in order for someone to assault you, they have to be able to hit you. So in order to be able to hit you, what do they need? I need proximity, I need space, but the other thing I often need is surprise. I need to get an advantage. So what you'll see oftentimes, my turn back with Chenzi here now, what you'll often see is say two guys confront each other, maybe it's over a beer, over a girl, and to get out, oftentimes guys will come in and they'll go, what are you going on, dude? What's the fucking problem? What are you fucking on about, man? What's your fucking problem, man? Right? And then they'll get into abuse of space. A woman out in the street might walk in the street and see a guy just get too close to her. He might literally just go, hey, excuse me, could you have some change? How can I help you? Or can you help me? And he just gets has any of these ladies, any women here ever met guys who just get too close to people? Have you?
Yes.
Tell me this though. Do you think those guys, oftentimes women will say, oh, those guys just don't understand personal space. But what's the truth? You said it there? They do, don't they? They know exactly what they're doing, don't they, Liz?
Yes.
Okay. So space is one of those things. And an attacker, a guy might get space, he'll abuse that space. You maybe get a bit of kind of toing and froing going on, but oftentimes he's just getting ready for the clock. Like he's just getting ready to get in here. He's positioning himself so he's so close. So when he attacks, you actually can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it because he's so close to you that that attack appears like a surprise. So yes, it looks like it came out of nowhere when I attacked Chenzi there, but did it come out of nowhere? Of course not. It came out of my original behavior at the beginning. It came out about how I used and abused and set up space. It came up how I enraged myself, how I used him, my kind of tactics. And I used kind of pumping up actions to get myself into a point where I would attack. Now, and then of course, there are some people who just do this for a living. These are guys who are just mechanical. They literally go out and take stuff from people. They just can go up and how's it going, mate? Bam! And just take you out because that's what they do every day. So it's a challenge. But ultimately what we know, John, is that the key predictor of violence is abuse of space.